Hello, hello. Good evening. Merry Christmas Eve before Merry Christmas Eve. All right, just gonna hang for a second, let you guys jump on. And say hello. And we're going to do some readings tonight. Don't ask your questions yet, though. Say hello first, my friends. And I am using StreamYard. So if you plan to ask a question, make sure I know who it is. So you might have to register at StreamYard.com or just put your name in the comments. Tell Wayne hello, Zaina. And Dana and Amy, hello, hello. Hello, Miss Kim. Hey, Di. Good to see you. Yeah, it's freaking cold here. Yeah, Merry Christmas Eve. Figured we'd have some people on tonight. Hey, Joanne, good to see you, sister. Hey, Miss Cindy, hello, hello. Hey, Vicky. We should do a temperature check to see how cold it is where everyone is. Yep, Dana, I can see ya. Hello, Miss Pam. Hello, Rick and Sabrina. Hello, hello. See, this is why I like social media. Yep, Merry Christmas Eve. So it's -7 right now, so not too bad here. But we have a windshield, so it feels like -31. Oh, you're 10 above, Di. Yeah, tell Mike hi too. Miss Wanda and Barbara and Terry. Oh, you guys got 17 below wind chill. Yeah, ours is terrible. Merry Christmas, Elaine. And Linda and Wanda. Merry Christmas, everyone. Cold in Montana, yeah. Yep, I got my Montana girls. 20 below. Oh, so cold, isn't it? It's just terrible. Diane, I see ya. Yeah, it's the wind chills that are making it so horrid. Tomorrow's supposed to be really bad. All right, so tell me how many of you, if any, had your Christmas plans change due to the roads and weather? The roads are really dangerous. Like really, really. We were going to try to go to the farm tomorrow and we're like, we're not doing it. It's too cold. If you go in a ditch when it's this cold, like you really, really, really can die. So we are not doing it. It's just too cold. But I thought we could do some readings tonight because I figured there'd be a lot of people home that didn't expect to be home. Maybe you guys are still shopping. Maybe you're still wrapping presents. Eli was out shopping until last night. Today he was, he had to go save one of my friend's kids and battery died. Didn't have to save him, but battery died. And we found out he didn't have snow pants. So he brought him home with him and gave him, we love to outfit people in winter gear. Like we have so much winter gear because the kids always have friends and sometimes they don't have the right winter gear. They've grown so much, you know, all that kind of stuff. So we set them up with snow pants and boots, which we love to do that. So funny. Say hi to Will. Yep, plans change. Supposed to head north. Yeah, don't head north. The roads are terrible. Yeah, it is a bummer. It's okay to have it be a bummer. That's okay. We can still have fun and have it be a bummer. Oh, good. That's good, Zena. Yep. I think that, you know, I was thinking about this and I think some people really had some strong reactions to having to change their plans this year because, we're just now getting back to being able to be with people healthy without COVID, right? And then all of a sudden the weather comes up and everyone's like, oh, it's kind of like just this shock to our system again. And so I think it's a reminder that you can always spend time with your loved ones, friends, family, whoever it is for you. And it doesn't have to be on a holiday. You can do it any time of the year. Do we plan the holiday? Sure, of course we do, because they're on the calendar and it gives us an excuse to plan it and we do it, right? And you can be flexible and you can make other plans too. Yep, did Christmas with the family last weekend. Yep, we're gonna do our visits. One of the couples we were gonna see have the flu, and so I was like, "You have cooties. I'm not coming to your house. No way." And then it's so cold and it's so icy, so we're gonna wait until New Year's. Hopefully that's our plan at this point. It's okay with it. I'm safe. I'm warm and just about to eat supper. Life is good, and we postpone till next week. Good. Yeah, and it does suck because some people, you plan trips and you have flights, and my poor sister-in-law came from California back to Minnesota to spend Christmas with her sisters, and I'm just laughing. I'm like, why would you do that? Like, it's so cold here. And she wasn't sure if they were even going to get on the flight, and they did. It was a little bit late, but they did. But I was like, why would you leave and then come back here? It's so cold. But they're having a good time. They keep sending me pictures. Yeah, it is. It really sucks. And when some people just, you can't change the plans or you miss out and you have only so much vacation and, all the stuff. So I get it. It's okay. We can have a moment of sadness for that. That's okay. Oh, yep. There's a lot of people that, yes, Tina, I am. There's a lot of people that leave this time of year, that pass away this time of year. Every year we see it. And I think the vibration tends to be really high around this time of year. And I do think people take their exit. So it's sad. And so people struggle, and it's, the holidays are great and the holidays can be a struggle, and it can be both. You can be struggling and find some joy too. So hopefully we will find some joy tonight, my friends. Okay. All right. So first, I'm going to give you this link here. If anyone needs some last minute gift certificates, I still have my readings on sale, super discounted, almost $40 discounted. So if you want to grab those, you still can, and then they'll be emailed to you. And hopefully you guys can see that link. Otherwise, it'll be up once I'm done. Grateful I'm not stuck at an airport. Can you speak into why souls choose to leave at Christmas time? I think that there's different times. I think sometimes, hold on, let me kick this person out. So annoying. Hold on, I got to kick some jerks out here. I think at Christmas time, what I've been taught and what I've been, my experience, I guess, with spirit this time, that the vibration is very high and the veil gets very thin. And because it's oftentimes also a really sacred time of year, or a very holy time of year for a lot of people, there's a vibration, and there is almost an ease to leaving at this time of year, which sounds weird. I know. And we don't like it. Like, I don't think that's easy, but sometimes the souls go when the vibration is super high because it's an easier transition, and we don't need to like it. And it's really hard when people leave. I remember when I was little and my grandma was dying, and we knew she was dying. Like, we knew it was coming. And I remember telling my mom, I was like, I really hope she doesn't leave on New Year's Eve. That would just be terrible, because every New Year's Eve, that's all I would think about. And every New Year's Eve, that's what I think about. And she waited till a few days after New Year's But I think it does have something to do with the vibration. And I think it's the veil gets thinner, and there's so much love in the air at this time of year because people miss people, and they miss their love, and they miss their physicality and all of those different things. And I think that makes a difference to people. Yep, I do too, Carla. She said, I think Christmas would be a beautiful time to enter heaven. And when you look at it that way, it would be. Maybe not for the relatives that are left here, but yeah, I agree. I think it's a beautiful, beautiful time. So we will do our best to bring through people as best I can. Okay, so here's how we're going to do this. I have a few guidelines. Don't private message me if I don't pick you. Okay. If you really, really, really want, I'm doing this volunteer. I'm stepping away from my family. I'm stepping away from dinner. I am doing this as volunteer. And so don't private message me if you don't get a reading. If you really, really want a reading, buy discounted reading. I put, a big discount on them. I put a link up. You can purchase that and book it. Okay. If you are trying to, don't ask your questions yet, you guys. If you want me to try to tune into somebody that has crossed over, the easiest way for me to be able to do more is I do like some information up front, who they are, how they're connected to you, how they died, just quick, and then how long they've been gone. It just helps me move into the energy. I know most mediums don't do it that way, but when I'm trying to go through a whole bunch of people, it just helps me go much faster. And it's easier on my energy, so I don't get worn out because I want to manage my energy well. Okay. So I go to, here's the other thing. I go to wherever my energy goes to. So I'm not going to get to everybody. I'll do my best to get to as many as possible. I go to the ones that I'm really guided to. And I would also encourage everyone to listen to everyone's readings, because oftentimes a group of energy comes through that might be Sally Mae's dad, but there might be so many similarities that you're like, wow, that could be my dad too. Sometimes they group together and they are able to give readings for everybody, even though not every single person gets a reading. Does that make sense? Like, I've gone to a ton of galleries and I usually know the gallery person, so I don't ever really expect to get called on because they know me, right? And not that I know you makes a difference, but I rather the people that are there and paid and everything get called on. And so I don't usually expect a reading, but I always listen to the readings and I always get information because I'm listening to everyone else's reading. I get my messages. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay, don't ask for your question. Don't do questions yet, you guys. I'm not quite ready. Okay. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. You got to let me prepare a little bit. Okay, hold on. You guys are already asking questions. I'm going to make you do it all over again. Okay, so when you do your questions, I'll try to give you as much information. There are mini readings, you guys, because I do want to get to as many people as I can. And so do not ask your question 3 or 4 or 5 times. That is a great way to get me not to call on you. Okay, just do it once. And I scroll back and forth. I can scroll back and forth. And so I will get to as many as I can. Okay. All right. So go ahead. And there was something else I was going to say, and I just can't remember. So again, you don't have to ask just for a loved one. If you just have some regular questions that you want to ask, please ask those too. If you have something on career, money, finances, health, wealth, that kind of stuff. I am not a medical medium. I will always tell you to go to the doctor, but maybe there's some energetic stuff that we can figure out. There are some weird people on here that are trying to get you guys to like message them and stuff. I don't know them. Don't do that. Okay. All right. So again, if it's something that, and I won't come to you if you don't have all the information for me. If you're trying to have someone that has crossed over, I need their name, how they're connected to you, when they died, and how they died. Okay. Their name, how they're connected to you, when they died, and how they died. Okay. All right. And if there's some weird people that come in here, you guys, I will delete them. But if I don't catch them, don't message them. Okay. All right. And also coming up on January 11th. You know what? I wonder if I even have the link here. Oh, yes, I do. Yay. I'll put this on here. January 11th, I'm doing a class on intentions with directions, and we are giving it one and bring a friend. So it's only $22 plus you can bring a friend, so you can split the cost with them. Okay, I'll talk about more about that later. Okay. All right. Let me see who I am guided to here. Let me block these people here. Okay, remember, you guys, put all the information in or I'm not coming to you. Okay. Hold on. Who they are, how they're connected to you, how they died, and how long they've been gone. I need all four. Kristen Mesner, I'm going to start with you first. What has my spiritual team been trying to tell me with all the synchronicities? They're trying to tell you you're on the right path, sister. When you start to see a whole bunch of synchronicities like that, it's usually your team going, yay, keep going, whatever you're doing, keep going, keep going. So when you see that, you want to just keep doing what you're doing, keep your mindset in a really positive manner, keep saying thank you for the signs, keep asking for more signs and synchronicities. It's just showing you that you're getting into alignment and you want to stay in alignment as much as you can. So as humans, we kind of come in and out of alignment, but it's just showing you that you're coming into alignment. Okay. All right. Yeah. If you split them up, you guys, I can't do that. It's too many people. Whew, there's a lot of dead people. Okay. First, I'm going to start with this because I want to see, this is the one that kept bugging me today. So this might be for more than one person in this group because they're kind of coming to me in a little, kind of like a little group, little clan. But if anyone had a father, grandpa, uncle, one of the three that used to dress up as Santa Claus on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day, I suppose it could be either one. It's definitely Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, and come into the house, they are sending love to you, like in big waves. Like I couldn't concentrate on any of your guys' stuff because I'm like, oh, I got to tell this one first. So if anyone had that, there's a message that they're sending love to you, and to make sure you pay attention to the weird things that happen on Christmas Day and Christmas Eve because they're going to make their presence known. Okay. So if anyone had a husband, uncle, dad, any kind of male that dressed up, I know it's a blanket reading, but I feel like there's more than one person that will get that, and maybe somebody on the replay might get that too. Okay. So I do want to come to Di. She said, mother-in-law and father-in-law, Ruby and Robert, died within 4 days of each other in 2020. And it's such a sweet message because they're like, yeah, we went the way we wanted to go together. And if they could have done it on the same day, they would have done it on the same day. As traumatic as that probably was for you guys, and it's so hard to go through, there's also like this lovely energy that they didn't have to live without each other, at least not for very long. And I don't know who went first, but whoever went first, then the next one actually helped the other one cross over because I see their hands helping to cross them over. And just they're okay. They are where they need to be. And they said it was such a peaceful way for them to go because they keep repeating, like, we didn't have to live away from each other. and that's the way that they wanted it. And I wonder if they had always talked about like we're going to go at the same time, and it might have been more of a private conversation, but it does feel like it was perfect the way that they went, and there's a lot of peace to it. I also feel like they're saying this move has been so good for you guys, and it feels like this next year is going to get even better. So hopefully things are going really well, but it feels like things are even going to get better and better and better in the new year, and they're really cheering you guys on to keep creating that happiness for yourselves. Love that. Okay. Evelyn Alt, Asher, my child who died by suicide 5 years ago. So the first thing I see is this kind of this picture of it's praying, but it doesn't mean it's not necessarily religious. It's more peaceful. And it feels like Asher has been in this beautiful, like his words, this beautiful place of healing, something that he couldn't quite get to when he was here on the human side. And it feels like, I don't know if he had a little, he's got a great little smirk, and I feel like he had a great smile and a great laugh, because I hear his laugh. But he's like, I finally feel like myself again. And I do feel like his healing, it feels like it was kind of like the words I hear, and I don't know enough about this to give you specifics, but it just feels like it was like this deep soul healing. Like he's like, it went way farther than just on the human realm. Like it was his soul that was doing some healing. So I don't know if he's just really taken on a lot in his evolution, but it feels like he's coming into this beautiful thing. And I think he's going to get busier around you, and he's going to be sending more signs. And I feel like he messes with the lights a lot. And if it's not the lights, maybe it's the TV. But I feel like blinking lights feels like one of his signs for you, just to let you know that he's in the light. He's always been in the light. He's just been in a healing space. So it actually does feel like he's been a little bit more quiet than some souls are. And it feels like he's just going to get busier and busier and busier. So watch for the twinkly lights and watch for the blinking lights, because that's his message saying, hello, 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 hello. I also feel like, I don't know if you hold on to some kind of, and this is pretty, I mean, this is really a normal thing for us, but was there anything you could have done? I should have been there. I should have done more. I should have done more. And he's like, there really wouldn't have been anything anyone could have done to stop his actions. He's like, I went out by mercy on my own will. And it feels like he's trying to take that guilt and just like pull it off your body, is what it feels like he's trying to do. And so it's like for Christmas, he wants to release you from any of that responsibility that as a parent that you're feeling. And he encourages you to let him do that, because he can transmute it. Harder for us as humans, but I feel like he's trying to lighten the load of kind of guilt and remorse that you carry. He also is telling you that it's about time that you start to live happy again. The best thing that he wants is you happy. And the happier you can be and the higher you can raise your vibration. And I know that's difficult after losing a child, but then you can see the signs even better because your vibration is a little bit higher. And so it's almost like he's giving you permission to be happy and live your life. Almost like he's saying, oh, I just want you to go live again. I really want you to be happy again. So there's a lot of energy around that piece, and so much love coming out to you. And of course, he keeps repeating, I am okay. I know you're not okay, but I am okay. But he wants you to be okay. But he really wants you to start living again, hun. Diana Parker. I don't know if your husband had quite the sense of humor, but when I read that, she said, Jesse, husband 10 months and he just dropped dead. He's like, just the way I want it. it's the way I wanted to go. And he's really aggressive in how he's coming through. I don't know if he was an aggressive dude, but he feels like a bigger dude and kind of aggressive. And he's like, yeah, it's just the way I wanted it to go. He goes, but can you believe that happened? Like, can you believe that? I hear that sometimes from the spirits. They're like, can you believe that I just went? Like, I just went. And he's like, honestly, it's the best way I could have gone. Like, did I expect it? No. Was it time for me? I mean, it was on a soul level, but he's like, it's not like I expected it, but can you believe that I left? And it just was like so fast. I was here and I was gone. Then I was in heaven. And he's like, and they took me. He must have a wicked sense of humor, because he's like, yeah, heaven like totally took me. Can you believe that? Like, he's surprised about it. So I don't know if he's a little bit of a naughty guy or what, like in all good humor. He's very joyous about it. It's funny for him. Not funny for us, funny for him. Which I bet happened in life too. I bet he thought he was really funny in life, not always so much. And he hears you. He hears you. And I don't know if you have some words with him sometimes, which I hope you do. But he feels what's going on inside of you. And he does hear you. So keep talking to him. And he goes, bring it, whatever you need to bring it. He also is saying it might be helpful. And I don't know if you've done this yet, Diana, or you've even thought about it or open to it, but I do feel like some support would be good for you, whether it's, hospice does some great grief counseling, or a therapist or minister or whatever, but it almost feels like you could just use a short time of support just to move through some of the things. It's kind of like you don't feel understood, which I've been hearing a lot this week. That seems to be a theme this week. But it feels like if you could be around some people that just kind of understood how you felt because they've walked through it, might be really of a kind of a relief for you. But he's not gone anywhere. He's definitely with you all the time. And he is in a good spot. But yeah, he keeps trying to bring me back into the jokes a little bit, because he wants you to be happy again, and he wants you to feel joy again. But I think that'll just, it's going to take as long as it takes. And I do feel like you're doing quite well, but I still think there's some stuff in there that you need a little support for. He feels like he'd be a nice, fun guy to hang out with, though. Okay. All right, hold on, friends. Sabrina, do you feel that health coaching will be a good fit for me and eventually become my career and move us forward financially? I think that's a great thing. I've seen a few little posts from you about how you're sharing it. And I encourage the shares like that, because you don't want to be in people's face, but you want to let people know what you do too. I actually really like it. I think it might be a little bit slow just to build it, because sometimes it just takes a little bit. So I would say consistency is going to be your biggest key for that piece. And I feel like, I think you're an entrepreneur and you don't always claim that as much as you could. And so I think you're always going to have a few different buckets going with some different interests, because I think that's what works. When you have a small business, the one, just appointments isn't going to usually support the family. You need to do this and this and this and this. And so I think there's always going to be a few different buckets, but I do think this is going to be one of your buckets. I really like it for you. And I can tell that if it's something that people can sustain and make it a lifetime thing, like it can't be a quick thing. It can't be, special this, special that. Like, you want to teach them how to do it in real life. I think that's going to be the key for you. Okay. And consistency for sure. Miss Kayla, are there any messages from Spirit about how I should approach this Christmas holiday, or things I should know in visiting home? I think go in and shine your light, sister. I really think that is going to be key for you no matter where everyone is, make sure that you're not dimming yours to make someone else not feel good enough. I think you are an inspiration to people. That kitty is not so excited about a car ride. I think you're driving. And so make sure you're telling the cat the plans. Cats like to know the plans. Typically aren't great travelers, but maybe this one is. Some of them are actually. Some of them will go hiking and all sorts of stuff. But I think it's more about telling that kitty, like, okay, we're going to get in the car. We're going to be in the car for this long. This is where we're going. When you get into the house, take the cat through the whole house in its little carrier, however you're doing it, and make sure that the cat knows what's going on. And if there's other animals in the house, you might just want one space for the cat because until you make sure they get to know each other. I think after a while, the cat will get used to that trip. I think it's new. So the cat might have a little bit of behavior stuff when you get home. And that could be, my cats used to hide under the table and bite me when we got home and things like that. Another person you could talk to, someone else mentioned her in here, but Shauna, oh, now I'm forgetting her name. I know it. Shauna, please put your name if you're watching, or whoever was talking about her. She's a great animal communicator. She's great. So you could always do a quick little session when you get home and get some feedback from the cat and things like that. But I think it'll be fine. I just want you to maintain your energy and don't dim your light just if someone else is maybe not doing as well. You've had a lot of great changes this year, so you want to be able to celebrate those. Miss Amy Wade, 2023 is a 1 year for me, which is awesome. It's all about new beginnings. Insight on your business for 2023. Yeah, definitely keep doing what you're doing. I think consistency, of course, is going to come up because it always comes up when I do readings for people. But consistency, but also it's kind of an experimental year. Like, try something. If it doesn't work, be like, okay, well, that didn't work. Sit with the energy of it and see if you can recognize the energy that felt off about it. So sometimes it might be a price thing. Sometimes it might be you're offering too many things. Sometimes it might be the date was wrong. Sometimes it might be the copy or how you came about it or the language or something. But I feel like it's a very, like, if you can go in saying, okay, well, I'm just going to experiment and see, if this works for people or not, and kind of keep almost a notebook about it, because you're going to start to see the patterns in your business. And that's super handy because you can tell, like, oh, you know what? Nobody signs up for a class in the month of July for me. And you'll start to see these patterns every single year. So you can start to plan your business a little bit different, and you can take advantage of when people are really interested and when it dips down a little bit. That could be like when you work on your business. But I keep hearing the word experimental, and in a light way, like you're using your intuition, but you're also using your mind, which is how you want to do it. You want both involved, but it's these tiny little tweaks that you're going to make and tiny little energies that you're going to be like, oh, you know what? I knew I shouldn't have done that. I knew it. Like, I could feel it when I was planning it that I shouldn't have done that. Or that, oh, I knew when I planned this one, it felt so good. And this is why. Like, keep track of the good stuff and the stuff that you got to tweak a little bit. But I feel growth and expansion for sure. And I feel your business going deeper too, which is always a great sign, because when you can go deeper, then it grows as well. So I would say hang on for a really fun year and busy. I think it's going to be a busy year for you. Okay, hang tight, friends. Hold on. Kristen Anderson, been seeing a lot of 1111. What is the message I'm missing? You're not missing it. You're seeing it. So 1111 is typically number one, that your angels are around, but it's also a reminder to make sure you're looking at what you're thinking about. 1111 is typically about what are you thinking about? Keep your thoughts positive, mindset, mindset, mindset. So you're not missing the message. You're seeing it. You're seeing the repeating numbers. 1111 just tends to be all about mindset. So this year I would really look at how you talk to yourself. What do you affirm all the time? What comes out of your mouth a lot? How's that language, self-talk in your head? So you're not missing it, hun. You're seeing it. So Cindy Jones, I've been in recovery for almost 6 months. Congratulations. I have so many opportunities for myself and helping addicts while I succeed in my trainings and new career. I think it's okay to be fearful for stuff like that because it's something that you're still new at. So please be mindful of that. You're still learning. You're still learning how to walk through it. You're learning what works, what doesn't work. You're learning the ups and downs and different things, and your experience you're going to teach from that. I teach from my experiences all the time, so you're going to teach from those things. And so having that fear, that's a normal reaction. Like that's something that people would have in your or in any kind of situation, but in your situation for sure, because it's still new. And so I think will you succeed? Sure, why wouldn't you? Like that's what I hear. Why wouldn't you? I don't know that it's something that you're going to want to do forever, though. I think that energy can get really, really heavy for some people. And if it does, I think there's other doors that will open if you want them to. So I wouldn't, and this is for anyone in any career, I would always keep the door open to see where you're being guided and where you're being led to, because in today's world, we don't keep with the same career for 60 years anymore. And so I think there's a lot of different places you could go with that kind of career. So just keep the doors open right now. Make sure you have a lot of support for your own recovery, but also make sure you have the support system set up for when you go into business too. That's a big deal, is having the support on that side too. Okay. Hold on, friends. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, yeah, I get right around there. It's the energy moving in. Okay, if you're just coming on, you guys, make sure you're giving. If it's someone that's passed away, make sure you're doing their name, how they belong to you, how they died, and how long they've been gone. Okay. Tina, my mom who passed 3 years ago from a sudden heart attack, is she connecting with my sister and helping her to heal? What I heard, I don't have all the information, but what I heard immediately was absolutely yes. And I wonder if your sister is feeling that, or is seeing signs or something that is coming through to her, that you guys are actually talking about that. Because when you wonder that kind of thing, or if it's a question that comes to you, oftentimes it's like, oh, I wonder if that was mom, or I wonder if that was, my dad, or whatever. Like when you have those thoughts, it's a yes. So yes, she is. Love this question. Alyssa, what is a way to open up my heart chakra? The first thing I heard loud and clear was learn how to love yourself more. Self-love, sister. So pay attention to how you talk to yourself, what you say to yourself, how you handle yourself. The best way to open up that heart chakra is to do things that you love, treat yourself with love, and then treat other people with love. Like, do things that make you feel good. Like, it was such a silly thing today to get this kid set up in snow pants, and we gave him boots that used to belong to our uncle that passed away a few years ago, and we all still miss him so much. And so it was just so loving to see him wear those boots, and we knew where they came from, and he didn't really know them, so he didn't really understand, but he could tell that it meant something to us. So when you're working on your heart chakra, it's all about that love and emotion and learning to feel your emotions and express your emotions. And that's where a lot of people get stuck, because they don't like to express themselves. So the heart chakra is also about learning to express it. And it can be expressing the things that piss you off and the things that are loving too. So a little journaling and burning might be great for you. But self-love, learning how to love yourself, would be the biggest thing. Susan Lee, she says, my best friend of 40 years died 2 years ago, miss her every day. And all I heard in my head was, I'm right here next to you. I don't know, like, she's got the best laugh. It's one of my favorite things about mediumship is I can hear people's laugh. And she's got the best laugh. And I feel like you guys used to have just giggle fits together and just have so much fun. And I feel like her words, yeah, I totally fuck with her. And she sometimes misses it. So she definitely is trying to get attention, your attention. And I think sometimes you, in your head, you're like, oh, I wonder if that was her. I wonder if that was her. But you're not taking it far enough to be like, oh, I'm thinking about her. Of course it's her. So, and I feel like, I don't know if you guys used to drink together or have coffee together, like one of the two. And I feel like that's still a time that you can connect with her. And so you can talk to her, you can express her, you can talk to her in your head, like whatever, but she really tries to mess with you. So I don't know if she makes your house loud at night or tries to scare you a little bit, like your house is haunted or something like that. Like, she's just giggling about it. So I do think she messes with you, Susan. So pay attention to that kind of stuff, because she's right there. She's yelling at me. I'm right there. Hold on, let me get this weirdo out of here. Get out, get out. You guys, if you see these people that are saying, hey, message me right away, I have a reading for you, don't do that, okay? I like this question. Erica says, my 19-year-old daughter on the right path, or should I be pushing her in a different direction? So read that, you guys. Is my 19-year-old daughter on the right path, or should I be pushing her? No. Should I be pushing her? I don't know if you guys remember being 19, but anyone that tried to push me in any direction, it was an absolute no from way deep inside of me. I would give her some space and let her find her own direction. She's got a strong spirit to her, so I bet your pushing doesn't help anyways. So I would give her some, if she's asking for support and she's asking for advice, or she's asking for help in any way, sure, of course. If they come to me and ask, absolutely. Otherwise, let her learn a little bit. Let her find her way a little bit. It's okay if they mess up and screw things up and things like that. That's how we learn, especially at 19. But yeah, I wouldn't be pushing her in any way. Not at all. Not that girl. She will push back, and that is not good for anyone. Dude, get out of here. Hold on, you guys. I'm just getting these weird people out of here. Shauna Fisher, she's the animal communication. She's on Facebook. She's fabulous. Sorry, I didn't catch this guy, you guys. Okay. Um, Shauna Fisher is on Facebook, my friends. Just tell her you were referred by me. Holy cow, this guy was like busy. Hey, Miss Amber. Okay, hold on, friends. Hold on. This is a perfect example. Okay. So Pamela says, yep, I've also been seeing 1111 a lot. 2022 has been a shitstorm, but trying to stay positive to manifest better things for 2023. So I would do some kind of a closing ceremony for 2022, Pam. When I've had years that have been a shitstorm, which I really like that word, and I had a few in a row, I would do some kind of a closing energy at the end of the year. And the end of the year could either be on the New Year's Eve for you, or it could be on the Chinese New Year's Eve if you need a little more time to get your shit together. But I would do some kind of like laying it to rest. And I would also spend a lot of time writing and journaling and doing a vision board or something, so you have something to see every day that pulls you into a new direction. So like we're doing our intention class on January 11th, I told you about. So if you've had a rough year, you already have some momentum going in your energy vibe, right? Law of attraction. If you have some shit going on, shit gets going on, right? And so you need some kind of touchstone or something that you can see every day. Or like I have different affirmations that hang up in my she shed right in front of my face, so that I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So taking a breath, I'm starting over today. Okay, maybe I had a shitty morning, but that doesn't mean it has to be a whole shitty day. You know, like really work on your mindset, you guys, and work on affirmations, set intentions, learn how to do that, because that will help move the momentum in a different direction. Okay. It's going to get better, Pam. You guys have had a lot of suicides on here tonight. That's sad. I know that's very sad for people. You know, one thing that I always like to tell people about that, because it just depends on how you were raised and what your beliefs were, but kind of an overall reading for people that have had people pass from suicide. And I wrote this a couple weeks ago, and a lot of people were like, oh, I never thought about it that way. And what I've been taught and what I've always believed, even when I was young and didn't have enough experience, and I still thought it was kind of selfish, I still had this thing in me that never believed they went anywhere else except a healing place. Okay. Number one, I don't think it's selfish anymore. I think it's mercy. I think when people get to that spot, there's nothing that's going to stop them. And I think that it's them going out under their control, and it might be the only thing that they feel like they have control of. And so that is their choice. And when they go, what I've always been told is they go into this healing space. And to me, the Spirit always calls it the hand of God, which I think is so beautiful. And a teeny tiny ounce of comfort knowing that they're going straight into the biggest healing space in the universe. And so those of you that maybe wonder, you know, or you've maybe had different messages from church or different people, or they went to hell or whatever the bullshit is, like, it's not true. It's just not true. I just have overwhelmingly always gotten that message that they go into this place of healing. And when they keep healing, their energy gets higher and higher and higher. And oftentimes we'll start getting messages from them after a while. Now, sometimes it's not until forever, for years. Sometimes it's right away. It just depends on the situation, but they're always in a state of healing, which to me, that always felt so much better. It's not a punishment. They go into a place because they left because they needed healing. So they're going to get the healing that they need. Okay. So hopefully that brings a little bit of comfort. Yeah, Alyssa, you got to work on that. Got to be your best friend. Jen, absolutely. Jen Bridges, any promising job prospects after I graduate? Yes. I would actually start looking now, though. I don't know what you're doing for school or anything, but I felt like there's this little momentum of energy going, like, go ahead and just start to reach out a little bit, ask if people are going to be hiring, see if there's any certain places that you'd love to work. But I definitely feel like there's going to be, I actually wonder if you might have 3 different places that you're going to be like, well, shit, now I have 3 places. I don't know where I want to work. All of them are fine. All of them are good. None of them are a bad situation in any way, shape, or form. They're all going to give you lots of great experiences. So, but yes, 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 yes. Okay. Oh, good, Susan. That made sense to you. Her laugh is the best. It really is. I love it. Okay, hold on, friends. I try to do a job in gatekeeping the weirdos. Terry, Rauch, I think it's Rauch. My son Trevor passed 16 months ago from overdose. I feel like he's, again, like he was one of the people that really came forward about going into the space of healing. He's very kind of quiet. I don't know if he was quiet in life, but it feels like his message is I'm in a healing place and I need to be here for a while. Very gentle. This is very gentle, gentle, gentle. Thanks, Brandy. Nice to see you, darling. Lorianne Bell, you can tell your mom that all day long, sister. She hears you. She said, do you mind telling my mother that I love her and miss her? Here's the thing, you guys. You all have the ability to connect with your loved ones. You don't have to do it through a medium. It's fun to do it through a medium, and it's fun to get that validation. But you don't need us to tell them anything because they can hear you all day long, all night long. Anything that you need to say to them, they're aware of what's happening. They know what we're saying. They know how we're feeling. So I don't have to pass that message, darling. You do it. And what you could do, Lorianne, is you could say, okay, mom, tell her that you love her, of course, but then you can say, you know what, I need to learn how to communicate with you. So start sending me some signs and make them big and make them obnoxious so I know it's you and I can't fight it. That's what I would tell all of you that had all of this kind of energy around you, like wondering, if your loved ones are okay. Start asking them to send you signs, but I always add, make them big and obnoxious so I can't miss them. Because if you're grieving, it's hard to see the signs sometimes, and you got to put your head up and live your life a little bit so you can start to see the signs. Julie Opatz, you know what? I do think you did. I would need more information. But the word I heard was yes. And so I would need a little bit more information what happened to kind of explain it, I guess. But yes, I would say yes. Okay, hold on. Hold tight. Hold tight, friends. Now they're bringing me back up again. Oh, Deanne, you had an uncle. Okay, my uncle always played Santa. It wasn't Christmas without him. Oh, I'm so glad that made sense for some people. I felt like there was like 3 to 5 people that had that. So that has been coming in. He's been hanging out with me all day. That's awesome. Hmm. Linda, I kind of wonder if they gave you any meds. Linda Russell, I wonder if they gave you any meds. I would say if you don't see a change in 3 days, I would go back in, hun. Cherry. I don't want to say your name wrong. Stepfather Daryl just passed December 14th. I'm so sorry for your loss of natural causes and Parkinson's issues. My dad had that too. I get that. And he couldn't communicate at the end. One thing he does want you to know is that he knew everything that was happening, because it's almost like his spirit was standing outside his body instead of being in his body. Like it felt like yes, he couldn't communicate, but his spirit was healthy and fine, and all that was good, but his body was shutting down. And so he just kind of stepped out of it to make it a little easier. And I've seen that before. Like, they've showed me that before. So it's not that he was suffering in his body, even though it might have looked like it, because I think sometimes it does look like that, but his spirit was already kind of on the outside of his body. I don't know how else to explain that to you. But what he feels, he's like, I feel so much better. Like, I feel so much more whole and happy, and I'm back to myself. And I feel like the Parkinson's really was tough for his physical body, and he's just like, oh, I can move again, I can be anywhere, everywhere, I feel so much better. Like, he just feels so much more free. And so I think Parkinson's sometimes can really make a person kind of feel trapped in themselves. And at least that's what it feels like. And it's kind of what it looked like with my dad too. And it was just this freedom when they can break out of that physical body. So there's a lot of relief for him. He's hoping there's some relief with you guys too, because it feels like it was a long road for everybody. And it's okay to feel relief. So that's another great broad reading for people, is it's okay to feel relieved sometimes. That people that have been suffering, or they've gone through stuff for a really long time, they're just as relieved as we are sometimes. And we don't like to talk about it because it feels like it's wrong. But I don't think it's wrong. I think it's true. And so, yes, he's absolutely okay. I feel like Christmas was a kind of like a sacred time to him. I don't know that he would talk about it a lot. I don't know if he was religious or faithful or what, but it feels like this was such a kind of a magical time for him to go, just like kind of how we talked at the beginning. So he's very much at peace with the date that he left, even though it's right before Christmas. He's like that was like the perfect day. So I don't know if there's something with that day, or if there was something around that day for him, but he was like, it was the perfect day. So, but yeah, he's free, hon. He just feels so free. Okay, hang tight. These spirits are so funny tonight. They're so like blunt. So Wanda Wilcox, first Christmas without my brother John. That's always tough. He died last January, missing him, and he's like, I'm right here. He's so funny. He's like, I'm right here. I'm always right next to her. I try to get her attention. I'm right here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here for Christmas. And I think that's, again, another broad thing that we can talk about. They never leave. They're right here. We need to learn how to adjust ourselves to be able to get the messages from them, but they're right here. They haven't left. He's like, I know you're missing my physicality, but he's like, I'm right here. He also feels like he messes with you a little bit, but he messes you something with, I don't know if you drop your water glass, or when you're trying to take a drink, you kind of miss your mouth a little bit and you spill. That's super funny. I've never heard that before, but I feel like he messes, like he kind of like pushes your arm a little bit so you spill. You have to let us know if that happens, Wanda, because that's super funny if that's what he's doing. Kind of like what a brother would do, like just kind of nudge you a little bit so you keep spilling. So there's something about spilling with him, and he's just got a great laugh. But he's like, I'm right here. I'm not going to miss Christmas. They're kind of funny tonight, messing with you guys. Linda, if it doesn't get better in like 3 days, or if it gets worse right away, like definitely go in. Okay. Julie, you'll have to email me that. That's way too much to go into on a little reading for this, okay? Just email me, Jody at Jody Harvilla. Tell me what happened. Oh, you do keep missing your mouth, Wanda? That's hilarious. That is your brother. That's your brother just messing with you. I just keep seeing him like elbow you a little bit and just kind of throwing you off. That is hilarious. Okay, that's good. That's funny. Okay. I'm going to find one more to do here before we go. So, okay. So again, if you want a longer reading or a more in-depth reading, I did a deep discount on my half-hour readings. I'll make sure that link is up. It is up towards the top, but I can put that on there again. And then on January 11th, we have our intention with direction class, and it's you can buy your ticket and bring a friend. There was one on here that I wanted to see. Hold on, friends. I'd love to know if there's any more people that have the Santa thing too. Ashley Catherine, my father, Charles Willits, he passed on November 30th of 2022. So he's pretty newly passed from congestive heart failure. My dad had that as well. So I know what that feels like, I guess, in my body is how I recognize it. I don't know. I don't know if he was a bigger guy, but my I feel like my whole body shifted a little bit into a different, like he had his own way of how he sat. People recognized him by how he moved. I hope that makes sense to you, because I feel like he very much commanded the place that he was in. He's coming through very much commanding the energy of the room that he's in right now. I don't know that this would have been something that he would have done in life. So I think he's almost giving almost giving it credit that, yep, this can happen. And he is talking. It's kind of like he wants to, I don't know what this is about, Ashley. You have to give me some feedback, but it's kind of like he wants to push you forward a little bit, hun. So I don't know if there is a career move that you're wondering to make, or a decision that you're trying to make. And he said you're hemming and hawing about that decision, and he's trying to give you a shove. And it's not like a loving push. It's like a shove with like both hands. And he's saying, just move, just go forward. And I don't feel like his passing is like holding you back or anything. Like, you don't feel stuck to me. And we're never stuck anyways, but it just feels like you're just a little resistance, and it's probably just a little fear or something, but he just wants to keep shoving you forward. So whatever it is, that's either, if it's not here yet and you don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably something in the new year, but it feels like there's a decision that needs to be made. And your dad is absolutely not only shoving you, but also very much supporting you in that decision. And I wonder if that might come as a surprise to you. But he is, I don't know if he was like overly supportive in life, or if he talked about it a lot. It's always hard to tell with guys, but I do definitely feel like he's trying to shove you in something, and it's going to be good for you. It's going to be very good for you. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine. Let's talk about her. I got to shove her. That's kind of how he's coming through. Super funny. Okay, let me just see if there's any other ones. Otherwise, Okay, so Heather, I want to address this. So I feel like my grandma paid me a visit a couple weeks ago. I wish I knew for sure. I saw an odd figure over my daughter's bed. I didn't get the normal scared reaction like a person typically would. It was almost like a comfort feeling. So I would say it was either grandma, or it also kind of feels like more of a angelic visit, kind of part of her team visiting and things like that. But the thing I want you to pay attention to is that you had a comfort feeling, not a fearful feeling. If you guys are seeing stuff in your house, that's more of a get your house cleared. Great time of year to get your house cleared. I have discounts on that too, but New Year's and all that kind of stuff, always a great time. But if you get a comfort feeling, trust that feeling. That's your intuition. If it startles you, that's just a startle. But if it's like you see something, oftentimes our fears can come through in kind of a physical way, because that's what our mind does. And it doesn't mean that there's something there that's going to get you. Usually it's not. It's just like some fear energy that needs to be released, or there might be a earthbound spirit that needs to be cleared, or whatever. But if it's a comfort feeling, typically it's a loved one. Okay. But if it is something that does feel kind of creepy or scary or something, that's when you reach out to me and have me clear your house. Okay. All right, my friends. That's my dad. His presence always got the attention of the room. I'm not sure what he's pushed me towards, but he would always tell me he was fine to focus on me and what was happening in my life. All right, then something's coming up, like something, it feels like a good opportunity for you, Ashley. And it feels like it's going to be like it could be anything from a new job or a move or something, like kind of a bigger thing. It just feels like it's a bigger thing. So it's something that you might be like, oh, I don't know if I want to do that. And he's like, yeah, you should do that. So watch for it in the new year if it's nothing right now. Okay. All right, my friends, that is what I have for you tonight. I don't want to wear myself out for the holiday weekend. Again, if I can support you with a reading down the road, definitely grab one of those discounted readings. Get your space cleared, whatever you want to do. And I will be back again tomorrow for Christmas Eve for our 24th day of our 31 Days of Spirit. And I might come in the morning just so I can kind of chill for the rest of the day. We'll see. But I'll probably have my pajamas on and a cup of tea. And so you guys can come and see what we're going to do for Christmas Eve if you're around. If you're not, Merry, Merry, Merry Christmas to those that celebrate. If your plans have changed, just trust it is probably for the best. And give yourself a chance to find some magic even in the changes, you guys. Okay. Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas. Happy New Year, but I'll be on. But I will see you guys. Thank you for joining me tonight. And I will see you all very, very soon. Bye, guys.